I'm the damn best. The first time I heard Muhammad Ali say, I am the greatest, I was like, God damn, why ain't I saying that? He's not even white. And he's saying it. And this back in the 60s, man. I'm like, how much courage does an individual have to say that to the world?
Right.
And then I'm like, but if I say it, people are going to be like, oh, you're bragging. Like, I get on my plane and people are like, why are you showing your plane off? Because that's the plane I'm getting on. What should I do? Should I take pictures of me getting on Southwest when I know I'm flying out on a Gulfstream 650? It's mine. It's stupid what people say, right?
Right.
So, dude, the social media for a real estate guy,
right?
Because you're doing both. You're doing something very real that you can either keep the asset or make some money on it, sell it. And then you're doing this internet thing, this like not real. It's this, whatever this thing is.
Right.
To me, the combination of those two worlds is like a superpower.
I think it's like the ultimate cheat code in business.
Because all these other real estate syndicators that raise money, when the real estate takes a big dump, and it will in this cycle, the only place they get money.
Doing more deals. They need acquisition fees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll do bad deals to get their fee.
Whereas you and I can go do education.
I don't need any money. That's why anybody investing with me at Cardone Capital was always going to make more money than if they did it with an institution or a Fundrise or any of these people, because I don't need to steal from the fund.
Right.
If I need money to pay for anything, I'm like, hey, man, click the link right now. Okay, here's a free book. I mean, I know how to do that stuff.
Right.
And the real estate world will never, ever be able to catch up with that.
Right.
And most of them don't have the personalities or the good looks like you have.
Thank you. Thank you.
Or the willingness to paint their hair.
There we go.
That's a gimmick I never used, bro. I got to tell you.
Well, when are you going to do it? How much is it going to take for you to go dye your hair, man?
Well, I did shave my head.
You did?
Ever shave your head?
Yeah. Back in the day when I was 21, I
but have
I
you
had
ever
a shaved
shaved
head.
it for work?
Not since I got on social media.
Yeah, I shaved it. I shaved my head for Undercover Billionaire.
I might have to shave it just to switch it up on people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Social media, the internet has changed my life. I'm such a big proponent of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's my newest company. I started a company called Content Empire, teaching entrepreneurs how to create content, create funnels, and get traffic to their business. Because I'm like, dude, if
what do you earn on funnels a day?
Across all the businesses?
Just every day when it bangs Stripe or
man, probably 50 to 100,000 a day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it'll keep growing.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And we're not even like touching the surface of paid traffic.
Right.
Yeah. So once paid traffic gets scaled, I mean, who knows? But yeah, my main thing was like, dude, if you're an entrepreneur and you're not making content, you're not building your brand, somebody else in your niche is, and they're taking all your customers.
Yeah.
Like,
and I truly believe when I watch your stuff showing up in different places, you know, I'm like, he's building so much trust. Like when you say you're pushing it down their throats, I think what really happens is because you're so frequent. I was telling you this earlier. Oh, I recognize that. I recognize that. I think that's the brand. People are not trusted until they're seen over and over. It's what Starbucks does well on street corners. Wells Fargo does it because they're everywhere. Banks create massive credibility because they use big lettering. They're everywhere. They're like, and you're building that brand, you know? And I didn't know I was building the brand. I didn't know I was doing this. I was just like, I hope this works. And everybody was telling me, you're posting too much. You're doing too much. You're bragging too much. You're doing this too much. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
And it just keeps working.
I said, they're not telling me to stop. I hadn't got a phone call yet.
Yeah.
Said, you can't do that.
Right. Do you have like okay, so let me break this down. I've been wondering myself, because I've had different, very like successful people, influential people who are ahead of me. They're like, dude, you're going to become a billionaire one day. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be a billionaire. And being a billionaire has never been like a goal, right? I'm just kind of trying to get better every day. That's all I'm trying to do. And, you know, I see you, obviously you're a billionaire now. You're continuing to get better every day. Like, was your goal to be a billionaire?
No.
Like, what were you doing?
You know, my wife, Elena was like, you need to be a billionaire. I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you even say that? She's like, because you could be. And she wasn't saying it because she wanted Gucci.
Right.
She was saying it because she's like, I know your potential. I know your work ethic. I know how disciplined you are.
Right.
You know, I see you working a 100 million or 160 million or $1 billion real estate transaction. And then 10 minutes later on Christmas Eve, you're pitching a $9 product. She's like, I know how much money you just made in this transaction. She watched me I did a deal. It was the Summerstone Apartments. I bought those property, got on a red eye, had a phone call on a Thursday.
Right.
On a red eye Thursday night, in the place on Friday, bought the deal. I think I put 400 grand down. 350 units, 360 units.
400 grand was just the EMD or what?
I don't even know how I did it. Like
Okay.
I sold it, made $23 million. Okay. Elena watched the money come in.
This was just like a quick flip.
It was 34 months.
Okay. Got it.
But it's a lot of money for 34 months.
Oh, yeah.
So had income the entire time. And she's like, look, you get a phone call. You don't know the person. You change your entire weekend. You flew to Charlotte, North Carolina on a red eye, commercial. I'm not flying. I wasn't flying private.
Right.
And you make $23 million in the deal. What do you do to celebrate? You go sell a $99 ticket. She's like, you deserve it, man.
Yeah.
And because the work ethic's there. Like just because I got rich doesn't mean I stopped working.
Right.
And for me, the reason I do that, what drives me is the service, man, to help people.
I see it.
You know, and I know I don't help anybody when they don't pay me.
Right.
I only help people that pay me.
Right.
Like I've tried to help people that need help.
Yeah. They're not invested. They don't have skin in the game.
Like I've tried to help drug addicts get off of drugs before. I know they need to get off of drugs. They don't.
Right.
Because they don't want it bad enough yet. And so, yeah, I would definitely tell you, man, you should have $1 billion target, maybe a $10 billion target, and start mapping it out like you would any other target.
Right.
And there's a big difference between being a millionaire and a billionaire, man. You know.
Yeah.
It's 5,000. It's $1 million 5,000 times after taxes.
Well, I already know from you, to become a billionaire, you got to think, how do I get to 10 billion?
Yeah, that's right.
So how would I get there?
Well,
What
you
would
look
you
at those
suggest?
funnels. I mean, look at those funnels. I mean, when I hear about the funnels at 50,000, I'm like, okay, you know, I know we funnel out every day. I know it can be 10 times bigger for sure.
Yeah.
And if I can do 500 a day, I know I can do 5 million.
Right.
I know what Amazon's doing every second of the day.
What are they making?
Dude, it's
It's crazy.
I know how much money BlackRock raises. I know how much they lost in the second quarter of this year.
Right.
They lost $1.7 trillion of institutional money. And nobody says they're frauds.
Right.
There can't be a bigger fraud game than that. So I know the money's available. So what I would do is I'd just start saying, okay, I know the money's available. $10 billion on planet Earth is nothing. I think we sent that to Ukraine already.
Yeah.
All you had to do was get that.
Yeah. How do I
You
go
could have
get
been
it?
the Ukraine siphon. You know, but you won't do that because you're not a bad guy. So you just got to figure out, okay, how do I help 10 million people?
Right.
10 million people give me $10. I think that's a lot of money right there.
100 mil right there.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it is.
I got to get them to give me.
But what if they did
$1,000
it every month?
Yeah.
Bang. That's
Every
$1
month
billion
gets
too
to a
a year.
billion. Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, it's just like you got to work it out. Then you got to get your spouse and the kids on the same page. Everybody rooting for Papa to become a billionaire.
Right. What's the meaning?
And then get rid of all the haters.
Right.
And the naysayers and the people that don't want you to get there. Because I promise you, no offense to you guys, I did this with Mike Tyson, never got invited back. There's somebody on your team that doesn't want you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I said this to Mike Tyson
Yeah.
in the smoke shop with the hot box.
Yeah.
They never played the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there's always going to be somebody on your team, bro. Empires are torn apart from the inside, not the outside.
So what would be the significance of becoming a billionaire? Like what, I mean, look, for me, I enjoy just getting better and helping people,
Yeah.
but on the
Well,
money side.
Have you ever flown private?
Yeah.
Okay. Like whenever you want?
No.
Okay. There's one difference.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to buy, before the end of the year, I might buy another plane for the team
Okay.
so they can move.
All right.
You know, that becomes different. Now, my wife and I play a little game, the lottery game. Like if we had this much money, what would we do?
Right.
So you start thinking about things you would do, man. You ever rent a yacht for 2 or 3 weeks?
Nope.
Dude, it's sick, bro.
It
I mean, it's sick.
sounds like you enjoy the experiences of being a billionaire far
Yeah,
more.
but I mean, have you ever given $20 million to charity?
No.
Yeah, it's freaking feels that feels better than the plane. And I don't want to give away the plane, by the way. Hey, the law of attraction thing, I'm a little worried about it. So, or the yacht, but giving 20 million to charity is like that's you inspire a lot of people when you do that.
Right.
So, I'm gonna fund these 10 TV shows. I couldn't do that if I was struggling.
Right.
I'm not gonna sell them to the networks.
Right.
They're not gonna tell me what to do. So if I could become a bank, and actually protect people's money, sending people $4 million every month that they depend on and need. I couldn't do that if I didn't have the capacity to go buy the real estate and then to backfill it.
Right.
Like the ability for me to go buy a piece of real estate, pick it out for my money, and then tell people, hey, I'm buying this either way. You want to come in? And they're like, oh yeah, you're going to buy it anyway? Yeah, either way, bro. Like it takes so much heat out of my life.
Right.
If I didn't have the surpluses, I couldn't do that.
I'll tell you, I really dislike syndicating, being under the gun.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time. I hate it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the deal, right? And then, you got whatever to close and you're like, crap, we got to raise the money.
Yeah.
And
I walked away in February. We had 2 deals under contract in Houston, Texas, $1 million non-refundable on both of them. I was past the non-refundable period. It was their money by contract. And I walked away from both those deals.
Right.
I walked away from $2 million. We went back and got it anyway, but to be able to walk away, that FU money, I heard the guy on Axelrod on Billions, and he talked about fuck you money. Fuck you money is, hey, I don't want to do business with you.
Right.
Or to be able to walk away. So that kind of freedom, it's not about the Billy.
Right.
It's there though.
Right. Right.
You have the talent, bro. You got the talent, the looks. I mean, you got the whole freaking package working. Why not?
Right. There's no
because
reason
what
not
if
to.
you don't? You're going to regret it if you don't go for it.
Yeah, you're making me think, man.
It's out there, bro. It's out there.
Yeah.
And you're a better guy than most of these people that are doing it.
Right.
You should go to New York and go just walk into the Goldman Sachs building. Just walk in one time and look around.
And be like, these guys are...
Bro, they got elevators. They got elevators that are this big. One elevator. And they got banks of them going up, 117 floors. They don't do it. They're not changing the world.
No.
They're not educating people. They're not going to stop and help people out. They're not going to go online this weekend, and educate somebody, some kid you don't know from nowhere about how they could build a funnel and have financial freedom.
Right.
So look, if those guys can print billions of dollars and not even be like, they're not changing the world.
Nobody even knows them.
There's a machine.
Right.
So they pay a lot of fees, a lot of taxes, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they do a lot of good things, but I also like the way that you're using social media and not letting it use you. That you're not just sitting there going through reels. How bad's the habit though?
Dude, honestly, I don't watch that much social media.
Yeah.
I'm just, dude, I never wanted to be
watch?
social.
What do you watch there?
I'm like Sabrina. I read a lot of books. I like reading.
Yeah.
I like reading, listening to podcasts, but I don't watch a ton of reels, man. I just kind of lose the attention span.
Yeah, that's what they want, though. I was telling my wife the other day, because one of her teammates said, "Hey, Grant, there's this trend going on where you do this and you go from this to that. You know that thing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. Well, why are you telling me that? And she's like, because it's getting a lot of views. I said, I don't need a lot of views. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not part of a trend. I don't work for Mark. I work for me. That's for them. You guys are just jumping on this freaking
Speaking of Mark, and I know we got to head out of here soon. What do you think about metaverse and crypto? We were talking about that upstairs. What are your thoughts on all that?
Well, I think we're a long way from the metaverse. I think the metaverse was a diversion for a bunch of bad news that Facebook had.
Right.
It worked, by the way. But I think we're a long way from anything metaverse.
Right.
Hey, Siri, play Kanye West. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it worked. Half the time it doesn't work. I can't get my Google map to work.
Right.
You know, it's bringing me some other place. I'm like, well, I can't get pins to share. Like, I'm like, I just think we're a ways away. Will there be an internet 3.0? 1,000%. Is crypto real? I think so.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody could show me how to do, you know, $250 million worth of real estate deals and turn it into an NFT, I'll be the first guy to, I'll fund the project.
Yeah.
And you guys figure out how to put the oogie joogie around it.
Yeah.
Turn everything into 8 boards.
I'm holding you to it.
Grant faces, half my face and half your face or something.
I'm down with it.
You know,
I told you, you know, at Tykes, that's what our goal is.
Yeah.
And so we're going to create the innovation and
then
I'm going to bring it to you.
We got to
fund
be able
it.
to do it. We got to be able to do it without the SEC throwing us in jail.
I know. That's the main
problem.
priority.
It's the SEC, man.
Right.
I
Yeah.
trust the NFT. I trust the technology.
Yeah.
You know I'm going to over deliver.
Yeah.
I'll put enough stuff around it
Right.
that there's value, but